Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review slash first impressions on the new Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. I'm super excited to show this to you guys because I've been looking for it for forever and I finally got my hands on it. So if you guys want to see how I apply this foundation and what I think about it, please stay tuned and keep on watching. Alright loves, so we're going to go ahead and talk about the foundation a little bit, do an overview, description, all that good stuff. So if you haven't seen the bottle, this is what the bottle looks like. Super beautiful. Everybody's been talking about this for the last few months and I've been trying to get my hands on it. And I finally found it at Walmart. I was literally just like in Walmart with my mom and I was just like, I'm just gonna go pass by the cosmetics section, and I went by and the first thing I saw was that first of all, Milani was stocked and had stock in their freaking section, which they haven't had for months. And then I went and saw and I looked up and the freaking foundation was just there and I was like, honestly, like I was just so excited. I couldn't believe it. Like I literally texted my friend right when I saw it. I was like, look, they have it, they have it. I was so excited. So if you guys haven't seen this foundation does come with a pump, which is like unheard of for foundation bottles at the drugstore. Either they're in a bottle like this but they don't have a pump, or they're in like a squeezy tube, which is pretty standard for most drugstore foundations. They usually come in like a squeezy tube. So yeah, I was super excited that it had a pump and I've tried it and it's actually a really nice pump. It's really comparable to some of the higher end pumps that I've seen on like higher end foundations, and honestly I feel like this pumps out like the perfect amount of foundation for each pump. 2 pumps of this foundation is more than enough for my whole entire face. If you guys can see, everything is on right now. It looks so good. I'm freaking in love, honestly. I can't even deal. But anyways, I'm just gonna go over the description that it has on the website. If you go on Milani.com, I think it's MilaniCosmetics.com. I will link it all down below so you guys can go and check it out for yourself. Basically, the product description, it has 5 full stars. I'm pretty sure it was like 4 3/4 or 5 stars, something like that, which is amazing for a foundation review. So this is the description that they have on the website. I just copied it down and I have some notes here so that I make sure that I don't miss anything. But basically what it says is it combats under eye circles, redness, and other skin imperfections with this full coverage, water resistant foundation plus concealer in one. A no mess, no drip pump dispenses just the right amount of fluid needed to achieve a flawless look and works around the clock to keep skin looking naturally perfect. So yes, if you were not familiar, this foundation is a concealer and foundation in one. Typically, I wouldn't use my foundation as a concealer. This would be like a good concealer to like spot conceal on your face, but I wouldn't use it under my eyes because I feel like it would be too dark and I like to highlight with my concealers anyway, so just keep that in mind. The shade that I am wearing is number 3, light beige, and if you're wondering, this is a standard size foundation bottle. There is 1 fluid ounce of product in here, which is awesome for the price. I paid $11.88 for this foundation. On Milani's website, it is retailed for $9.99 US, and I'm in Canada, so I paid $11.88, just under $12, which is ridiculous. And I got it right there and I didn't have to pay for shipping and wait for the package to get to me, and possibly even pay for customs, which customs is just ridiculous. Honestly, like, let's just not talk about that right now. But yeah, so I got it just under, well, with tax it would have been just over $12. And yeah, I just like literally, I went home and I was like so excited. So I can't believe how giddy I'm getting over a foundation. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so I just wanted to point out on the back of the bottle, it does mention a couple more key points that it doesn't mention on the actual website, which I find a little bit weird because they should have put that into the description on the website. But basically on the back of the bottle, it just says Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation, 2-in-1 foundation and concealer, medium to full coverage, lightweight, oil-free formula, which they don't note that it's oil-free on the website. At least I didn't see it. Maybe I missed it. Who knows? But it says it here. It says long-wearing, water-resistant, and sweat-proof, which it doesn't say that it's sweat-proof on the actual website, but it does say it on the bottle. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole description. It just says that it has a 12-month shelf life, and then it just has the shade on the back and also on the front, which is a super nice packaging. If you're wondering, the bottle is glass, which is also really nice, but you have to be super careful if you are on like a tile floor or something, make sure you don't drop it or else you could possibly break the bottle. Super nice black to the foundation color ombre. Super beautiful, and I just can't get over the pump. I love the pump. And also I just wanted to mention the shade range at my local Walmart that I found it at didn't have that many shades. It was only about 4, maybe 6 foundation shades, and they weren't all completely in stock. There was only a few left. But I noticed that on Milani's website they have 14 shades of their foundation, so if you are looking for a bigger shade range, they have more on their website. I know that Milani's line doesn't go super light or super dark, so it might be a little bit harder for you to find a foundation for your particular skin type or skin tone, sorry, which kind of sucks because a lot of brands do that, and it's really shitty for a lot of people because they can't find their perfect foundation shade. But go and hassle Milani on their website or on their social media and tell them to make more shades, because honestly it is a beautiful foundation. It's so beautiful. But yeah, I think that's it, and we are going to get on into the demo. Alright love, so I just wanted to mention what tools I used today. I did use 2 different ones. On the left side of my face I used my Real Techniques buffer brush, which is an amazing foundation brush that's affordable from the drugstore. Definitely check it out if you were thinking about it. I hesitated for a really long time to try this out, and I'm so glad that I did. I love it. It's such a good product. And my beauty blender, which you guys know I use literally every single day. It's my ride or die. It's my baby. I can't do my makeup without this thing. Like, even if I go into the brush to do my foundation, I still go in with a beauty blender to blend out my concealer. Like it's like the struggle is so real, honestly. I love this thing. If you guys are like thinking about getting a beauty blender, honestly just hop on the bandwagon because you will not regret it. It's amazing. I love it. So yeah, I use these 2, and also obviously I use this on the right side of my face. So yeah, I'm gonna finish off this description part of the video and we're gonna go ahead and get started with the demo. Alright my loves, so we're gonna get on in and get started with the demo. As you can see, I have a fresh face. I have washed, moisturized, and primed with my Smashbox primer water. As you guys can see, you guys know that I love this stuff. It's almost empty. I'm like down to like the last little bit. I love this stuff. Highly recommend it. So I'm just using that as my primer, not doing anything too crazy because I want to see how the foundation works. But today we're going to go in with 2 different tools. The first one being the Real Techniques buffing brush. This one is awesome for foundation. If you are on a budget and looking for an unaffordable set of brushes, Real Techniques is awesome, and you can usually pick them up at your local drugstore or Walmart. And then my second tool, which is something I use literally every single day that I do my makeup, it's my beauty blender. I love this. This is like my ride or die. Always have to have this in my makeup kit wherever I am if I'm doing my makeup. So yeah, like I said, I'm already prepped and ready to go, so we're gonna get on in and get started with the foundation. Okay, wow, I actually put my hair up once and it actually looks good. So I just clipped my hair out of my face. We're gonna get started. I'm going to do this side of my face with the brush and then this side of my face with the beauty blender. As you guys can see, my natural skin has a little bit of redness through my cheeks. I'm not sure if it's rosacea or not. I don't think so, but anyways, it's redness. I have a couple breakouts right over here. Really minimal stuff, nothing too crazy. And I haven't been breaking out recently, which is nice. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope it stays that way. But yeah, so we're gonna get on in, and I'm gonna take my bottle. Love that it has a pump. And I'm just going to pump 2 pumps of foundation onto my hand. So this is what 2 pumps of foundation looks like right here. Super thick, not runny at all. It's almost like a moussey kind of texture. Okay, so we're gonna go on in with my brush. I'm just gonna dip a little bit of this onto my brush right here. So I'm just going to dot it all over my face. Or not all over, just half of my face. And I'm just going to buff it in. So as I'm blending the foundation out, I do notice a scent. It's not something like I've really smelled in a makeup product before. It's kind of weird. It almost smells like a body lotion or something. It's kind of weird, but it's not like super overpowering. Scents don't really bother me that much, so if you're really sensitive to scents, you might not like this. If your store has a tester, open it up and smell it. For me, scents don't really bother me because they usually just go away after a little bit. But so far I am really liking the foundation. I'll zoom you guys up in a minute after I'm done applying it so you guys can see what it looks like. But I'm just going to go in with my forehead, and I'm going to see if this actually covers the blemishes on my forehead here. Okay guys, so definitely this foundation is a medium to full coverage. I feel like you could definitely build this up, but I feel like this layer is enough for me. I wouldn't want to do too much or else it would look cakey on me. So I really like what it looks like so far. As you guys can see, it pretty much covered up the whole area of those little blemishes that I had, and I put very little on my forehead. The color is a little bit off, I'm not gonna lie. It is just slightly darker than my neck, but my neck is lighter than the rest of my body, so I'm gonna have to blend it down, which is what I always do with every foundation that I use, if it's kind of like a little bit off, because I can never find a foundation that's the exact same tone as me. I don't know, my body's like neutral but kind of warm at the same time, so it's kind of weird. I'm loving this coverage so far. So now we're gonna go into the Beauty Blender side. I have my sponge right here, and if you guys were wondering, this is how much foundation I have left on my hand. I barely used, I think I used like one pump for that one side of my face. I could probably get away with using only a pump and a half for my whole entire face, but let's see how this goes. So I'm just gonna grab some on my sponge, and I've noticed that this foundation is thick enough it doesn't sink into the sponge, which is nice. It's kind of just sits on top, which is what it's supposed to do. The foundation covered up the redness around my nose really well also, which I find that is really hard with my Makeup Forever one. I feel like I always have to constantly go back or use a different concealer to cover that up, but this foundation just did it like perfectly in one go. And also I find that I've mentioned this before, but foundation doesn't stick to like the tip of my nose area very well for some reason, but this one seems to be like staying on my nose, which is like so nice. Guys, I'm really liking this. This looks so good. I didn't think it was gonna look this good. Oh, and there's my phone. Alright guys, as you can see, this side right here is the side with the Beauty Blender. And then going over to this side, this is the side with the Real Techniques brush. As you can see, I still got the full coverage, but my skin is still glowing through, which I don't have super glowy skin, so that's nice. Alright guys, as you can see, I have the foundation on. I think I'm in love with it. It's so freaking beautiful. Like, I've never worn a foundation that looks this good. The color is a little bit dark. I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera, but I'm hoping that it doesn't oxidize, because I've heard that it does oxidize on some people. But I just love it. Like, it just covers all of your imperfections, but it still like glows and it looks healthy. Like, it doesn't look like you have a mask on, which is obviously the ultimate goal with a foundation. And I don't know if I had mentioned this before, but it did cover up the marks on my forehead, like the little blemishes that I had there, and you can still kind of see them peeking through, which I don't mind. It doesn't bother me, but you could always just go in with a little bit more, or go in with a concealer beforehand. So I'm gonna stop talking about my face right now. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and I'll come back and give you guys my final thoughts. Alright my loves, so I am back. I have just finished off doing my face. I have not technically set my entire face. I've only set my under eyes, and then I went in with powder, contour, blush, and then my highlight. So technically I haven't set any of the outer parts of my face and a little bit around my forehead. And the foundation feels like it's dried down a little bit more from when I touched it the first time, but it doesn't feel like completely matte and like powdery, which is nice. I don't mind this, so this doesn't bother me. If you want something completely matte and dried down, you could definitely go in with a powder after putting on the foundation. Totally up to you, whatever your preference is. I find that when I set my under eyes, I just pop a little bit of powder onto my nose, and it's enough for me for the rest of the day. So looking at the foundation now, I find that when I put my concealer on, I usually like highlight under my eyes do the middle of my face, so that kind of just brightens up the foundation a little bit, so it doesn't look as dark as if I were to just wear the foundation, which I normally would never do. So definitely the concealer definitely did brighten up my face a little bit. I'm loving the foundation so far. It looks so freaking good. Like, I can't believe it. Honestly, this is like probably one of my favorite foundations that I've ever tried, and it's only like the first time that I'm using it, so it looks so freaking good. If you're wondering, the time right now is 1:03 p.m. and I got a text from my mom, so I gotta text her back. But yeah, so it's 1 o'clock right now. I will update you guys in a second, and then I'll come back and finish off the video. Hey guys, I just wanted to check in with you. I just got home from running some errands. I have had the foundation on for a few hours now. As you can see, it pretty much looks the exact same as when I applied it the first time. I did get my eyebrows done, so the makeup around my eyes is a little bit janky because she had to obviously wipe it away when she was waxing them. But other than that, the foundation stayed in place. I did get a little bit oily, so I found that if I would have just blotted and reapplied some powder, I could have gotten away with it for much longer. And definitely it stayed put around my nose, which usually it rubs off really quickly around there, and it hasn't moved. So honestly, this foundation has blown me out of the water. Super impressed, and I give it 2 thumbs up. Alright my love, so that was the entire video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give it a big thumbs up and let me know in a comment down below if you would like to see any future first impression videos on any other products, high-end or drugstore. I'd love to do them for you. Please subscribe down below if you haven't already and join our family. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Mwah. Bye!